Hello, everyone. Welcome to Tech Tip Tuesday for February 11th, 2025. I'm your host, Jake Barron, Head of Operations for the Americas, and I'm here along with my amazing co-host, Henry Pena, Onboarding Specialist, YouTube star, Tech Tip Tuesday star now as well. You've seen him a lot live on this call. Sometimes we have him in the chat, but always even better when we have him live on the call today. Ken Close had a scheduling conflict similar to what I had last week. It's his turn this week, so it's hard to get all of us together these days, it seems. But Henry and I are here to assist. So any questions that you have, go ahead, start putting those in the chat, and just keep in mind, we're talking about Healy products, Healy apps, Healy features, devices, troubleshooting, tips, that kind of thing. But of course, we can't touch on anything related to, certain conditions, treating certain issues, and that kind of thing as well. But again, any questions you have, just let us know, and then we will. That's how we do this on Tech Tip Tuesday. You run the call, you create the agenda basically, and we just are here to assist the best we can. So we'll go ahead and let's see here. Oh, okay, that's the first question's for you, Henry. Why don't you take this one? So what does an onboarding specialist do?
Absolutely, Dixie, and thank you so much for the question. So this Healy onboarding sessions, it's something that we incorporated some months ago. Do you know, Jake, exactly when we started with those?
I think it was July. Maybe I think it was July or August. Yeah, last year.
So yeah, it's already been a while, and it's basically these sessions that we do. Sometimes they're one-on-one sessions. Sometimes there's some people like 3, 4, 5 people. But I always try to make sure to answer all their questions. So these 2 sessions that we basically go. We have 2 sessions going on right now. One's called Getting Started with Your Healy Device, where I go over everything that you need to know to familiarize yourself with Healy, from the science behind Healy, how it works, to the warranty, the accessories, the hardware, the Healy, how to use the Healy 2 app, the difference between all of the apps, so that people can understand, right, how to utilize the Healy, some of the resources that they can use to continue learning on their own, how to contact us if they need additional assistance. So it's really a wonderful tool for anybody who already, anybody who may be new to Healy, or even some of those who may be with us for a while, but they still have some questions on how to use the device or about the difference between the apps, anything like that. More than happy to answer their questions there. It's really, really informative. And just like we have that one for the Getting Started with Your Healy Device, we also have one that is for the HealAdvisor Analyse 2 app, which is called Unlocking the Power of the HealAdvisor Analyse 2 app, which is, again, ideal for anybody who wants to understand how to use that particular app, which allows you to perform analysis, get insights on your results, then send positive vibrational information, etc. So again, anybody who wants to understand how to harness the full power of their Healy, these sessions are ideal, and you can sign up very easily. I just shared the link in the chat, so you would go there, you choose the type of session that you want. Remember, so far there's 2 types. They're available in English and in Spanish, and yeah, you sign up, and then we'll definitely look forward to seeing some of you guys there. And yeah, it's really a wonderful opportunity for you to get to know more about Healy.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you so much, Henry. Yeah, Henry put the link there. I put an alternate link too, because depending on your system and browser, sometimes people have issues with the redirect. So the HealyOnboarding.com, if you have issues with that, you can go ahead and use the other link that I put in there as well. And I'm actually gonna share my screen and just show a couple of things here before we move on. So if you go to that link, this is what you'll see here, and then you have basically the English and Spanish version, as Henry mentioned, of Getting Started with Your Healy Device, which focuses on the unboxing, the device, what comes with it, the general knowledge, how to use it with the Healy 2 app, and then the separate one just on the Analyse 2 app, which is, a much more comprehensive, complex app as far as all the different modules and everything that are available there. But you just click on it, and you pick a time that works for you. On the calendar, you see this is done twice a week. Henry had one earlier today. That was the one for the first one for this week. but very easy to do. And then you get an email reminder, a text message reminder also before your session begins. So check that out. And then also, if you don't want to book a live session, we'll kind of want to get an idea. Henry just there was actually a new playlist on our YouTube channel. So if you go to HealyAmericas.com, it takes you right to our Healy World Americas YouTube channel. And then you'll see here the most recent video, Healy Onboarding, getting started with your Healy device. So this is basically a recording of what Henry goes over with the first onboarding session, the one that focuses on the Healy device and the Healy 2 app. You can kind of see the whole range of topics that are discussed. Of course, you can't ask questions, so that's why it's great, to join the live session too. But if you're curious, you want to, maybe you had an onboarding session and you want to go back and review what was covered as well, you can do that here. So you just click on this and then you can actually
session on games.
You see here, if you click on the more, all the different sections here are all hyperlinked, so you can skip to and from all the different sections that Henry was talking about there. So yeah, this is great. Again, do both. If you want to have an onboarding session and be able to ask some questions, join the live one. But then you can always reference this recording as well later on too. So it's very, very cool. Check that out. And yeah, keep on while we're on the YouTube channel. Also we have the newer as of about a month ago, the short section too. So there was a new one added about a week ago about discovering, we showed it on Tech Tip Tuesday, so you'll probably seen it there. But the discovering the full potential of the Healy Gold Edition is one on understanding the 3 MagHealy power settings, so 1, 2, and 3. The importance of hydration. It was a fun video. Learning how to troubleshoot your device, like the hard reset process, that kind of thing. And then the first one we did was how to test your connection cables, and you'll see just in the thumbnail there, basically just holding your connection cables together while it's connected and running a program will give you a good indicator of if you're the problem or the cables are the problem. And by you being the problem, meaning, of course, maybe the wristbands aren't tight enough, maybe your skin's too dry, maybe you need to drink more water, maybe you need to increase the intensity, or common things as well are possibilities there. So very cool. Check all these out as well. It's always fun to spend time on the YouTube channel because there's new content pretty much every week, whether it's recordings of Tech Tip Tuesday, or it's recordings of Frequencies and Friends, or it's a new Healy short video that are added about, once a month or so. There's always something new being added to that channel. And then if you are subscribed to the channel, make sure you also have the notifications turned on. So when a new video is posted, you get a little reminder red dot sort of a thing on the top of the YouTube page there too. And then, of course, you always don't just look at the Healy World America's YouTube channel. Make sure you're also on the Healy World official. You see here, I'm subscribed with the little bell is displayed here, so I have reminders turned on here. And you'll see these are all the sort of the commercial videos, the corporate produced, not necessarily trainings, but more so product highlights, the official videos related to product releases and apps and that kind of thing. You see the newer videos we have here related to the essential oils module, plant power database, the Obsidian Edition as well. There's tons of content here also, all the different MagHealy mod or applications as well, classic atmosphere, water, and McMakin. Kai, our product marketing specialist, does an amazing job with this series, the Beyond the Waves, the Resonance podcast as well. There's such great content available in each of these. And actually, there was just one a few days ago, the Resonance podcast. It was one here about the plant power database as well, which is an essential oil, which is very cool there. And if you're curious and wanting to look for something just on Healy, just on like say the Healy World Official or Healy World Americas, and you want to do a targeted search, don't search in the search bar at the top of the screen. That's going to search all of YouTube. So you'll get results related to Healy, but it might be a little bit harder to find exactly what you're looking for. If you want to search just within a channel, you use this little search option here. In this search just within Healy World Official, or if you're on the Healy World Americas, it would search just within Healy World Americas too. So there's so much great content. I mean, between our YouTube channels and between all the videos in Healy Academy, I mean, if you wanted to, you could spend a couple hours a day for a few months, I think, watching each of these too. And yeah, I mean, just there's no rush to catch up if you haven't really been following these different channels, but maybe just pick 1 or 2 videos a day and continue your Healy education as well. Okay. Yeah, so thank you, Marjorie. Like so my clients say the onboarding is very helpful when you train them and lightens my workload. Yeah, that's exactly what we're trying to do. I mean, of course, we want everyone to it'd be as easy to work with Healy, if you want to, sell Healy devices or MagHealys as well, that we have the proper onboarding in place. So it's not on you to train all of your customers. That's something that we can assist with. And we've improved a lot over the years. For those of you that have been with us since the beginning, we've come quite a ways. We are always looking to improve those. So we're always adding new features and new options. And actually related to the onboarding, maybe not everyone knows, but every single Healy order comes with a thank you card. That one side is a thank you card, thank you for your order, sort of a thing. And then on the flip side is details on how to get started, essentially. So, if you're a first-time Healy customer, on the back, there's different sections. There's QR codes that'll take you directly to book your onboarding session or to go to, actually, the first QR code is a link to the Healy and MagHealy First Steps video, which is, no matter what your knowledge level, is a great starting point. There's the onboarding link, and then there's links also to Healy Academy, right, Henry? I think is on there as well, and
Yep.
then how to get connected on all of our different social media channels and stuff like that. So yeah, that is in every single order too. So ideally, if someone's brand new, maybe they don't have great support, maybe they bought it from someone they're not super close with, that they know that we're here for them to help them get started as well. And along the way too, maybe they do an onboarding and then they have questions later. Of course, our customer care tech support teams are available via live chat, typically from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern. And also we have a new feature launching later this week, which I think everyone's going to be super excited to try it as well, available on our Healy shop. That's going to be available 24/7, really, to provide great support around the clock for you as well. But yeah, we'll talk more about that maybe next week on this call, or definitely later this month too. But that's going to be a fun new thing for everyone to play around with too. Okay. Let's see. What else we got? I think so far we're caught up, right, Henry? Yeah. Okay. So again, oh, Henry's muted. Let me see here. That's my fault. Ken's the host of this call. I'm not used to being in this responsible position here. Lots of pressure being the co-host. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and make you co-host, which I should have done at the beginning of the call, but we kind of forgot about that.
No worries, no worries. I was like, you were like right-hander, and I was like, I can't speak.
Nice. Okay, this next question here. Thank you, Dixie, for your participation tonight. Great questions. Do you ever think they will allow another page to the MagHealy for personal programs? So by personal programs, do you mean expert programs, or are you referring? Yeah, so there actually is. I mean, that page is there right now. From what I there are, from what there's no official expert programs from Healy corporate for the MagHealy, but there is an expert area. If you're connected to your MagHealy and the Healy 2 app, that expert area does show up as well, right, Henry? I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, technically, it should be the same like expert page area for both.
Yeah, thank you, Doc Steve, for chiming in there. Appreciate that. Happy,
Thank
awesome to have you on the call too. So yeah, that is something that's kind of like an unexplored area for a lot of people too. Is that a lot of people have expert programs on their Healy, but the MagHealy not as familiar with those for a lot of people too. But it's the same. I think it's going to be a great growth area going forward too, being able to create those expert programs for the MagHealy too. And says, my expert pages are maxed out for my Healy. Oh, wow. Nice. You got a lot more than me. So I only have 4. Actually, no, 5. But yeah, that's awesome though. So, so if you're referring to, okay, so if you're referring to the expert programs, yes. If you're saying if there's a way to get more than 12 expert programs, as of right now, there is not. But anything's possible. For sure, there's certain limitations as far as the number of programs that kind of are allowed on the platform when you combine in with, say, you have an Obsidian or a Healy Professional, as far as the number of everything that can be loaded on the particular device there. But that's actually, I have heard that before. I don't have any news on that or anything, that would indicate that that's coming soon. But always great to send in feedback too. So whether it's through our chat or through our ticketing system, or even better, use the send feedback function that's within the Healy 2 app. You can send feedback on different categories as well, and those types of feedback goes straight to the app developers also. And there could be a lot more behind the scenes that I don't know as far as if this is possible or not, or when that could be an option there too. But certainly, if it's that important, and it seems like a very reasonable request there also to go ahead and use that send feedback option. Okay. What do we got next here, Henry?
So one of the questions that I did see from a jury was that they said that if we're considering adding the MagHealy programs to the HealAdvisor app, so they can also get recommendations when they enter a keyword in this HealAdvisor search app. I think we're kind of like in the same situation with the expert area. Like right now, there's not necessarily, it's not part of the app, but it's definitely something that I definitely think it's worth adding and considering. Because right now the HealAdvisor app, it only focuses on IMF programs, which are those individualized microcurrent frequency programs. So some of the programs that you may expect to see there are not going to be there, like the pain and simulation programs, for example. They don't show up there because those are technically not IMF programs. But I think it's a great idea. I really think it's a great idea, because for those who have MagHealy and they want to, utilize the app to see what programs they can run based on a particular issue they're having, I think it's definitely worth adding that. So I wouldn't be surprised if we had that at some point.
100%. I know this is a request that has been received from, many people have sent this in, and there is a lot of work that goes into updating that particular app to to have those recommendations as well for the MagHealy. So, there's no sort of time frame on when something like that would be added. It's just know that it has been received, and the need for something like that is definitely known on our side as well. So, okay. Yeah, so there was I think you mentioned for anyone that has the 12 programs already and wants more, that you can have someone remove those programs too. Also, again, also a lot of times we do run into this. If somebody, they might have 12 expert programs and maybe they earn one of the expert programs. Like we've had opportunities over the last year or so to earn prosperity and inner peace and grief, and more recently AM Boost, which is the new one that was just released this month. But yeah, if you have 12 already, we can't actually even go in and add that program if all those slots are already filled there too. So yeah, it's a great suggestion there also. So Doc Steve, great question. Will AM Boost be part of the Healy Obsidian? So yes. So the US, Canada, Mexico, and Colombia, we are adding that for the Healy Obsidian editions. It's a long process, and there's, I think, nearly 1,000 in our sort of region to add those to, but it is going to be added over the next few weeks to the Healy Obsidian, starting in the US and Canada. So for you, it'll probably be available in the near future. So, okay.
Yeah, we had another question in regards whether or not, I mean, it looks like, Lindy said that someone had a chest where they would store expert programs for you when you have bought 12 from him. So I guess that's something that probably TimeWaver specialists may have access to. Maybe some sort of digital chest, because I don't think it would be a physical chest. So yeah, and I see that Doc Steve did say that, the only ones that would be able to manage that kind of stuff would be the TimeWaver practitioners. Because yeah, I mean, we can always, if you reach out to us via a support ticket or a live chat, we can definitely take a look at the expert page and maybe remove something that you may not want. But yeah, when it comes to adding on more than 12 programs, that's something we don't really do that.
Yeah. But yeah, there's lots of great tips. Here, the expert program it's a very cool area, because even if you just have a gold edition, right? The entry level edition, you have access to this expert program area, right? Like Henry, you just mentioned that in your video that you created a couple weeks ago. They're on the gold edition as well, so that's obviously a great spot to start. Where even if you want to not super familiar with frequencies, just want to get started here. Yeah, there's all types of places out there, and Doc Steve's on our call here, of course, one of our amazing independent Healy World members, who's also a TimeWaver practitioner. So you see those details there too. So there's lots of resources out there as well for anyone looking for more information on that expert program area. But from us, there's only a few available, but I know that there's a ton out there from all the amazing practitioners that are working with both Healy and TimeWaver as well.
Yeah, and definitely one of the advantages also of having those TimeWaver programs, and I know I've had people in my onboarding calls who work with Dr. Steve, and they're very happy with the way things go. And one of the advantages is the fact that if you have a Healy and you're not necessarily sure what programs to run, you can always work with a physician, a TimeWaver specialist, and they can help you kind of figure out the best programs for you and kind of like help you out with that, which can be very useful, especially for those who may be new to Healy or have been with us for a while. They may be overwhelmed about so many programs, not sure what to run. We do have those apps so that you can determine which ones are the best programs for you. We have the HealAdvisor Analyse tool. We have the HealAdvisor app. But again, if you're looking for more of a kind of like a personalized approach to all of this, you can have somebody like a physician, a TimeWaver specialist, can provide you with a specific method of how to run these programs, and they're going to explain everything to you. So that's very useful. And yeah, just like Jake said, you have Doc Steve right there who is more than happy to help.
Okay, so I was taking a few notes here. Yes, great feedback from Lindley on some of these expert programs that have been created. Awesome. And let's see. Oh, hold on a second here. Doc Steve, thank you for joining us.
My video's not working, unfortunately.
Oh, okay.
I can hear you loud and clear. So people ask, what is an expert program?
Yeah.
And basically the way I like to explain it to people is that the reason why they're so powerful is that when you use a regular Healy program, you have a group of maybe 500 different frequencies in an individual program that are generalized frequencies. And so some of those frequencies may be specific to your condition, and some of those frequencies may not. When you have an expert or custom program made, the program is made specifically to exactly what your body needs for the condition you're dealing with. And so 100% of the frequencies that are in that program are related to your body. So you can imagine if you're getting a program that has all of the frequencies specific for your condition, as opposed to a program that has only a few of the frequencies that are related to that condition, you can imagine the difference in the effectiveness of the results. And I work with patients all over the world, I should say Healy members all over the world, and have created programs for every particular medical or health condition that you can imagine. And I also work with animals too. And literally the response I get back is dramatic in terms of the results they get, where they haven't been able to resolve those issues just using the regular Healy programs that become available with the Healy. So I wanted to just put that out there for people.
Yeah, no, thank you, Doc Steve. Yeah, that's, I think one of the very unique things that makes, Healy World, what we have here so powerful too, is that, for those of you that don't know, the TimeWaver, it costs, well, like $30,000, something like that. Like it's, yeah. So, and the fact that our little device that we have here can take something that was created with this super powerful machine that has access to, as Doc Steve mentioned, so much specific detail, and then be able to run that program on your Healy device is I mean, I don't know where else, what other company out there can have that sort of capability. We're benefiting from that, that everyone can have, whether or not you are anywhere near a TimeWaver or a therapist or anything like that. You can, the expert area is such a very, such a cool feature of the Healy device, and it's available on each of the editions that we have too.
Absolutely, Jake. And that's actually the reason that I initially brought Healy forward into I was, as many people know, one of the main people that brought Healy forward from Germany into the US over 6 years ago. And one of the reasons I did it was because of the possibility of being able to work with the individuality of patients having specific medical issues or health-related issues that could not be addressed just in general. Because the work that I've always done in my practice for the last 47 and some years has been very, very personalized, very individualized. I don't use any sort of a
Like
scripted situation.
Yeah.
So because of that, the more specific you can get in dealing with a person's individual issues, the better the results they're going to get. It always works out that way and has for me with all of my patients over the years. So it's just creating another level for people that have specific health issues that they can't find a program that necessarily matches all of the aspects of that particular health condition.
Yeah. Awesome. Very cool. Yeah. Again, and also, sometimes it's just because we do have 280 plus programs if you have the Healy Obsidian, but sometimes just getting that helpful advice of, okay, specifically where should I be focusing right now? Even if it's just that, it can be beneficial as well. And it's one of the cool things about the expert area too. So, okay, let's keep going here. Thank you for your feedback, Doc Steve. It was fun to have a
Yeah,
little.
when you realize that any of the new programs that ever come out in Healy, I don't know if people realize this, but all the new programs that come out in Healy, they're all created on the TimeWaver. So those programs are created by somebody deciding, okay, this is the kind of thing we want to have available now. Let me custom make a program that actually addresses those conditions or issues. And so they're always made from the TimeWaver initially. So that's how it works.
Yeah, very, very cool sort of a background or behind the scenes too. And again, another one of the unique features of the benefit of having the experience of TimeWaver is that there's so many other companies out there offering a frequency product or whatever. Maybe it contains a few frequencies, or maybe it contains the same frequencies for everybody. Of course, one of the differentiating features of Healy are the individualized microcurrent frequencies. And Doc Steve, of course, you mentioned the programs having a pool of maybe 400 or 400 or 500 frequencies, some more, some less, depending on the program group. But if I run the same program that Doc Steve runs, that Henry runs, we might all be receiving different frequencies for that particular program, which makes Healy unique in that sense also.
Yeah, and Jake, as you mentioned, one of the main things that make Healy so special, as we've talked before, is the ability that it has to actually tap in the power of the information field, which again is both a scientific and spiritual phenomenon. It's a global phenomenon. The Healy has the ability to interact with it, and then based on that information on the information field, analyzes you. And in real time, it determines which ones are the best frequencies for you. And then on top of that, of course, we have the HealAdvisor Analyse to that, which is a whole completely different thing, where it actually provides insights based on that information that's coming right from the mind, right from the things that you do, the things that you think. So that's it. That's the information field, and I don't think there are any other devices out there who can do that. That can do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and there was a question about the average length of the expert programs, and some of Doc Steve, 60 minutes here and there. Some of the ones that we come from corporate, whether it's like Prosperity or Inner Peace or the newest one, AM Boost. Again, things average around 60 minutes, but some of them are longer. Like the new AM Boost it's 71 or 79 minutes. I think so. It is one of the longer programs out there as well, but very cool. And I know a lot of people are excited to receive that or earn that or try that program out this month. And there is a video also available, a short video around a minute long, on the AM Boost program. So there's a question from Lindley. Says, do you know who the TimeWaver expert is who made the essential oils program? It is so spot on.
There's somebody in Germany, as far as I know, Jake. It was a Christian in Germany.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know specifically the name, but usually there's a lot of work that goes into this. But yeah, I would say I love the essential oils module, and I've heard so many people say that it is so accurate and spot on. And it's I mean, if you haven't tried it yet, I mean, it's just subscribe. It's $7.30 a month. Subscribe to it. There's no long-term commitment or anything. You could just try it for a month and see if you like it. And I'm pretty sure you're going to want to keep it for a long time though, because it is great to use. And then, for those of us that are new to essential oils, there's if you go to the store or if you have a friend that sells it, whatever, there's so many to choose from. This kind of points you in the right direction if you want to incorporate, the Analyse 2 app, the information field analysis, but also using the oils like an actual here as well, to purchase them and use them along with it. Or maybe you're already familiar with essential oils and you have a bunch of these at home and you're like, I don't know which one I want to use today. It's fun to be able to do both, I would say.
I mean, the accuracy, Jake, of those types of programs, it's not just the essential oils, but if you look at our list, a lot of people don't pay a lot of attention to some of the other individualized programs like the homeopathic remedies and things of those natures. If you haven't looked at those, you should, because again, just like it's difficult to select sometimes a specific essential oil for you, the same works with homeopathic remedies. Sometimes you're not sure. There may be 6 particular homeopathic remedies that may fit your particular condition, but when you run that homeopathic list, again, you'll get the exact homeopathic remedy that your body needs at that time. So I would say, look at those. A lot of times people don't look at that secondary list that's in there. Not just the program list, but the list of the individual items. I mean, even, running something like the I Ching, which is another one of those lists. If you've never done that before, it's really an amazing tool. It's an ancient Chinese tool of divinity, and you can ask it any specific questions and run that I Ching, and I'll tell you, it's amazing how it always has the right exact answer of what you need to know at that moment in time about that particular situation. So you ask a question before you run that particular program group. You hold in your mind the thought of a particular situation, and you run the scan, and it will tell you how to act on that condition. It's really cool. If you've not tried it, try it.
Yeah, it's a great reminder too. I know you've done some great sort of presentations, talks on I Ching, and that's the thing with Healy. We have so much available to us that sometimes you get in this routine and you use a few different modules and whatnot, but then just hearing this again is kind of a good reminder. Hey, tomorrow I'm going to run the I Ching and sort of start that as well too. So
yeah, the Gem Elixir is another one like I'm referring to. It's all of those individualized programs. You get the specific one that you need at that particular moment in time. And it's really fun to play with some of those, because I would have to say that most people I speak to that use a Healy, they forget about this entire group of options that are available. They really only focus most of the time on just the individual, frequency programs to run, but they don't know there's a whole other section in there that is so rich with information that, if you haven't used it before, play around with it, I mean, my favorite one to run on people when I first see them or they're first trying to decide whether or not the Healy is for them, I run the homeopathic psyche program on them. And if you don't know what that is the Creative Homeopathic Psyche program. That is a program that tends to bring up what they call, Carl Jung refers to like your shadow side. And it nails people so specifically. If you really want to knock somebody off their chair, run the program on them and then have them read it. You'll see their expression. I mean, when I first ran that program, I was totally blown away. I was like, wait a second, only I know those secrets about me. How could this device know those secrets that nobody ever knows? And sure enough, it was right spelled out right there. So I always, when somebody's skeptical, or you really want to show them that this is the most accurate device out there, run that particular program, because it'll nail them. And when they look at it, it's like, yeah, that is you. You know what I mean? That is you. And that's always the keeper. In other words, that's always the one that if somebody isn't sure and I run that program for them, they buy it, right? Like within a minute. Oh yeah, oh my God, if it can do that, if it knows that about me, I'm totally in. So just a suggestion there.
We have a very powerful gift in our hands here too, and just sort of the different options we have. Creative Homeopathy. Of course, this is, as Doc Steve mentioned, this is a big database. It's 360 something entries in there. So when you're running this, it takes time. It's not okay, 10 seconds, I'm done, here's my results. It's going through all of these entries in the database. And Doc Steve mentioned the results are super accurate.
Precise. Yeah, well, I
so,
mean, the reason for that is what you just mentioned, Jake. The more the number of listings or items in a particular program, the more specific it's going to be because of the number. So if you have,
Yeah.
300 or 400 different items about your particular personality, it's going to be much more specific than having a database that says has 20 items. You know, it's much
Oh,
more,
yeah. As far as
specific than that
the
way.
precision there as well. And
Yeah.
essential oils has 101 different oils in the database, so that's one of the bigger ones also. And then plant power we haven't really discussed on the call tonight either. That was over 500 plants in that database also. There's some things in it I'm sure you've never even heard of before. For some, I've got some results and I'm like, didn't know that was a plant.
Well, a lot of them are also herbs, Jake.
True. Yeah.
So,
Good point.
in an herbal realm. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's another one, very, very powerful, and that one takes some time too. I think it's our biggest database as far as the number of entries there as well. So yeah, that one, if you're running that for the first time, there's nothing wrong with your Healy if it's taken a couple minutes to run through this as well. It's just when you're running through 500 entries versus one program group with 12 entries, there's going to be a big difference in the amount of time it takes. So.
And then that's, I also want to remind everybody that this isn't only like a self-discovery app, it's also transformational app. So it's not only gonna give you insights, as Doc Steve said, the idea of shadows, things that we are kind of like storing in our subconscious that are affecting our lives in one way or another. The app will also give you those affirmations, those positive affirmations that you can reflect on so that you can actually make changes in your life. So I always describe the HealAdvisor Analyse app mostly like as a manifestation tool. You can really use it. The whole idea of the HealAdvisor Analyse app is so that you can transform yourself into the best version of yourself. And remember, everything that Doc Steve was mentioning, it's going to be, remember the HealAdvisor Analyse app, the resonance module is divided into 3 sections. The one for the Healy programs, the one for MagHealy, and all of those special databases Doc Steve was mentioning are on the 3rd resonance section, which is database analysis.
Yeah. Hey, Doc Steve, since we have you on the call, again, thank you for making the surprise appearance. Is awesome.
Well, when I knew that Ken told me, when I spoke to Ken earlier and he said to me that he wasn't going to be able to come on, I said, I better go on to help
Thank
the
you.
guys
Thank you.
out.
It's awesome.
In
No,
case
but
they have
this question here, wanted to get your opinion on this because this is one of our most frequently asked questions at Healy World is, Marjorie asked a question about, did an analysis today, how long should you run each database? Because this can be from milliseconds to hours. And then, there's a huge range. We, of course, from Healy World, there's a general recommendation of, depending on if it's a conscious or subconscious topic, and then, running shorter duration for more times throughout the day or a little bit longer duration for fewer times throughout the day. But in your experience as well, do you have any sort of key tips there for anyone looking for just a general guideline for how long to vibrate some of these programs?
Well, it depends on, I like to divide it into acute versus chronic.
Okay.
Because I think it's easier to conceptualize it in that respect.
Yeah.
Then if it's an acute situation, you want to run it for a longer amount of time for fewer times per day, as opposed to a chronic situation where you would do shorter amount of time for longer times per day, multiple times.
Okay. So, and that's something that can vary, because when someone says a longer period of time, for some people, maybe they've been 5 minutes, but we hear stories of some people running for 30 minutes, an hour, or several hours, and and I know we talk about the importance of not overdoing things, and a lot of people just assume that's related to the Healy 2 app and using microcurrent, and you don't want to overdo that. Less is more. we talk about that a lot, but
Yeah, I mean, the
because of
longest
the,
I ever run those individual items in those particular are either 15 or 24 minutes. I mean,
okay,
I rarely go above that period
okay,
of time.
got it. So good general guideline. We're talking minutes, not hours or days
Right.
at a time. So okay.
And another quick question for Doc Steve, because in regards to that same question, that sometimes people ask me, okay, how long should I vibrate this for in regards to like when they should stop doing that same analysis and move forward to a different analysis? Because some people that I've seen, they think they need to do a new analysis every day, and that's not really how it's supposed to be done. That's why you have a history tab so that you can perform one analysis and kind of like stick to those habits. But I would love to know your opinion about that, Doc Steve.
I usually tell people, to rerun a scan as a general rule, like once a week. I mean, I would never do it once a day,
Yeah,
because there's no way you're going to be able to clear a lot of those things, especially the chronic issues that you have, by just running it and then doing another scan, the next day. And the
yeah,
theory is, and the type of medicine I do, as I say to patients, they say, well, how long is it going to take me to get well following your programs or protocols? And I say the rule of thumb is that it takes 1 month for every year you've had that disease or situation, when you're working with natural medicine. That's the rule of thumb. So as you can
mm,
see, the longer you have had that condition, the longer you're going to want to run those frequencies. But I don't think, scanning every day is really
yeah,
of benefit.
yeah, yeah. That's that's tricky too, because sometimes, especially someone new to Healy, they might do an analysis and they see the results and they're like, oh, kind of hits close to home there. And they might feel like, I don't know, I don't really like those results. I'm going to do another analysis to get something different. But then you've sort of, this comes down to trusting the Healy, because once you've seen that first result, it influences everything, every analysis you do from then on
That's
as
absolutely right.
well.
When you run the actual analysis itself, you're actually treating in a way with the
Yeah.
frequencies of that analysis. So there's always going to
Uh-huh.
be a change. You'll never get a duplicate result. I mean,
Yeah.
people always out there try this. I mean, it's not just with
Yeah.
Healy, but I've known about this for years with any kind
Uh-huh.
of devices that do any kind of scanning on you in the quantum field. And they
Uh-huh.
want to do it to say, well, I'm going to prove this is not accurate because I'm going to run the device second and see I won't get the same results. But I mean, that's the quantum universe. I mean, you'll never get the same results. I mean, when you go to Vegas and you do you spin the what is it called with the ball in there,
The
uh,
roulette.
roulette, you're not going to
Yeah.
get the same result every time. If
Yeah.
you did, everyone would put it down on the same number all the time. The whole thing about the universe is that it's always changing minute by minute. And once you run a scan or run some frequencies, you're already in a totally different place than you were even 5 minutes earlier. So it's not really, duplicatable in that way. You'll never
Mhm.
expect to see the exact same results. You'll get some consensus there. In other words, the results you'll see will be compatible or similar, but don't ever expect to run a scan a second time and get the exact same sequence of programs showing up or anything else you're doing in the sub programs. Don't expect it to duplicate because it won't.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. So
That's something no, I just wanted to point out, like that's something that people ask me, like, oh, like about the repeating, and you need to understand that the quantum field, like when we're talking about the information field, everything that's happening on a subatomic level, even though we cannot see it because obviously we have our organs, we have our bodies, but everything that's happening on a subatomic level, when we're talking about electrons, the speed they move, it is considered, I mean, scientifically speaking, it's measuring attoseconds, which is a billionth of a second. That's how fast everything in the subatomic world is moving. So, I mean, there is no way that you can go from one analysis to another one that you perform 5 seconds, 10 seconds, 1 minute later, and you expect to see the same result considering the unreasonable speeds that electrons and everything in the subatomic realm is moving.
yeah. Yeah, exactly. There's actually on this topic, we always like to refer people back to Healy Academy, because there is such a extensive library basically of content there now. And you know, on the topic we're discussing right now, you know, in here in the coach module section. So this is where a lot of these topics are discussed as far as the observer effect and how knowing your results and, you know, influences. If you were to do another result right away, you can't, what Dr. Steve was talking about, you can't reproduce that exactly, because there's no way to go back to the exact situation that you were in even a second ago. You know, everything has changed. So, but these are cool videos too. Definitely worth checking out. And there's some tips here also as far as related to the transmission duration that touch on some of these things that we've been discussing here as well.
I mean, the
And
easiest way I explain it to people, Jake, when they want to
uh,
understand that concept really and get it within like a minute, is the
yeah,
fact that I say, imagine driving a car and having a camera and taking a frame every second as you're driving. You'll see you can't, it's always different. In other words, you'll never be able to duplicate that situation because
yeah,
as time changes, everything changes along with it. So, you know, nothing is duplicable in the universe at all, ever. You can't reproduce anything.
yeah, yeah, exactly. And yeah, for while we're in Academy here, well, we're talking about essential oils too. There is a new essential oils module section here in Academy that has a about a 5-minute long training video also on essential oils, which is definitely worth. So we have about the minute long commercial video that we showed on the Healy World official YouTube channel earlier, and then there's the actual training video that is inside the Academy, and you'll see there's also a presentation that you can download as well to PDF, which is very cool as well. And there's a new Obsidian Edition section coming to Healy Academy soon as well. I don't know the exact date, but all the exclusive content and trainings, the master classes and that kind of thing, recordings of those will be available exclusively to anyone with an Obsidian Edition. Like Doc Steve, I know you have one there. So that section would be available to you in the near future. So, okay. We just got a few minutes left here. So let's see if we have anything else to discuss here. And I think we're
something else I wanted to point out, since we're talking about the Academy, we're talking about knowledge resources. There's when you sign up for the Healy onboarding sessions, you get a copy of the whole presentation, which is honestly a unique presentation that is not really available in the Academy. It's something specifically for the onboarding. I just added it so that everybody watching this knows. I just added it to that same recording that Jake showed, the one that is on YouTube. So you can download it from there too if you want. So yeah, eventually we're going to be uploading the one for the HealAdvisor Analyse 2 app, and then you're also going to be able to download it from there. But yeah, just know that if you sign up for that Healy onboarding, you're going to be getting a special presentation that you will be sent to your email, and you can always access it. And it contains pretty much a summary of everything you need to know about Healy. It can be very, very useful.
awesome. Thank you, Henry. Love the Healy onboard.
Absolutely.
Yes, I mean, we spent many years before that was available, having to each one of us, I would have to spend an hour with every person, patients of mine that I sold Healys to do an onboarding with. And I was spending, you know, hour after hour after hour, and I was saying, wow, I wish Healy would come up with a way that they could do the onboarding for us. So we take the time off, and this has been the best thing, Henry, because I've been able to refer people to do the onboarding. Every patient that or person that I refer to that gets a Healy, as soon as they tell me that they have the Healy, I tell them two things: charge your Healy and immediately sign up for an onboarding session. And it's really saved me like hours and hours and hours worth of time. So I thank you for doing that. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you, Dr. Steve. I appreciate it. No, and really, it's our pleasure. It really is our pleasure. I'm very super happy. I feel like our members are really lovely. Everybody who joins those calls are always super eager to learn about Healy. They ask questions, and that's really all what we expect. That you show up to the onboarding and you really take advantage of it by asking all kinds of questions you want to ask. It doesn't matter if it's about the Healy 2Out, HealAdvisor Analyze, HealAdvisor, the quantum field, it doesn't matter. I'm going to absolutely do my best to make sure that you're satisfied with the answers and that you leave the webinar knowing what to do with your Healy. So I appreciate that, Doc Steve. I'm glad that it's been helpful.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's been amazing. Actually, it's been one of the best things that have come out of Healy in recent times, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. We thank you, Doc Steve, for the feedback there. And yeah, Marjorie had the same feedback earlier on the beginning of the call about she loves being able to have her clients participate in the onboarding. And again, every single order now comes with that thank you card, and on the back there's a QR code to go straight to book your onboarding session also. So yeah, definitely love that. And it's there, as we've discussed on this call, we've gone into some of the different more unique databases and that kind of thing, but getting people off to a good start is so important. And you can learn. I mean, this is a lifelong sort of journey at Healy of learning and discovery along the way. So with all the different databases that are available and will continue to be added as well, but just having a certain comfort level to start, and then you can kind of from there explore on your own pace as well, and go as deep or as shallow into the quantum universe as you want. But we have a lot of resources available now. Henry help you get started, and then from there you can dive into the scientific basis in the academy, or just stick with the more commercial videos available on our YouTube channels, or just join us on Tech Tip Tuesdays and ask whatever questions you have as well. So yeah, we're at almost at the top of the hour here. So thank you so much, Doc Steve. Appreciate so much having you on this call tonight. It was a lot of fun. We got to go in a little bit different direction than we typically go here on Tech Tip Tuesday. But thank you so much. Again, thank you, Henry, for being here as well. And thank you so much, everybody. Have a great night, and we will see you all next week.
My pleasure, Jake. Anytime you need me, I'm here for you.
Perfect. Thank you so much.